So I'd like to welcome in now retired FBI special agent and founder of Sierra One Consulting, Robert D'Amico. Robert, great to talk with you again. So really disturbing stuff here. What stands out most to you about these recent, crypto-related kidnappings or these kidnapping attempts?
Well, this is a blend of old school and new school crime coming together, and we've been seeing it across the spectrum. I do a lot of assessment for high net worth individuals. And what we're finding, though, is people think they have a vulnerability, but it actually may be on the cyber side, and understanding what your vulnerabilities are. And I think it's also mistaken from the criminal standpoint is that they can have this cryptocurrency transferred to another cryptocurrency account, and they can quickly get hard currency easily. It is still trackable. But the problem is, your cryptocurrency that you're trading is all public. That's part of the whole thing out there to give it credibility and people to understand. And then with the know your client laws that are coming in with the hard currency, banks and other institutions and cryptocurrency have to start to understand who's on the other side of the account. But the biggest thing is some of these folks, like the one in Vegas, he had all his cryptocurrency available on his phone.
Yeah.
And that's like taking all your money, putting it in your pocket and going out on the street, because it's actually not even on the phone. It's in an exchange, and it's just sitting there, and you're not making money on it. I always tell people, like, look, if you like to trade cryptocurrency, have $500,000 in there, but your other 3.5 million, have it on a hard wallet that's physical that you leave at home in your safe, because then they can't get it, even if they get you. And then talk about just security in general. Again, I do assessments on high net worth individuals, and they think this is my vulnerability, when in fact, I had a client who had a car collection and a watch collection, and they're talking about him on Russian websites or Russian blogs. They're looking at him, and there's no way he would know. Cybersecurity is coming into fad, and this is, I think, all part of it. Criminals think, oh, I can do a quick transfer, I can get the money. But it's going back to, they don't understand it really is traceable, and that's how people are getting caught.
Well, absolutely. So we know people with a lot of wealth, these high net worth individuals, have always been targets. But what type of security changes are needed to protect people connected to crypto? Do changes need to be made? Does more of their responsibility lie on authorities or on the companies, maybe the people themselves, kind of a mix of all of that?
Well, it's kind of a blend. It takes everyone on who's dealing with this. Again, the laws started coming out that you had to get more information on your clients to prevent some of the things that were going on with cryptocurrency. That allowed some of these high net worth individuals to be known. I always also say, like, sometimes it's your talk, it's your social media posts, it's like the crimes that we saw with pro football players bragging about what they had in their house, and all of a sudden their houses started getting robbed. It's the same thing here. And then if you have to understand your vulnerability, another company I work with, CenturyOps Technologies, does the same thing. When we blend in what are your assessment, where are your vulnerabilities, looking at really what someone is talking about. We look at the dark web, or people talking about you. Have your usernames been out there? Are they being sold on the dark web? All that comes into play. I give speeches to high net worth individuals. Again, with AI and with cybersecurity, their threat world has changed, and some of the older ones really just don't get it. They're worth a lot of money, but they don't understand what AI and what cyber can do to put their money at risk.
All right, and just really quickly, Robert, I want to ask you this, and this is not for the people with a lot of wealth. This is not for the high net worth individuals. This is just for the everyday people who are watching right now. You mentioned that a lot of people have, crypto on their phones. A lot of us have so much information, whether it's banking, whatever, on our phones, which is obviously convenient, but it can be such a major vulnerability. What should we be doing?
I think if you're trading it every day off your phone, that's one thing, but I would figure out how much you're trading and leave that in an exchange. And then we talked about these hard wallets that aren't physically with you or locked up in a safe. And something along those lines. And if you're not trading that often, you don't need to have it on your phone. There's also other things you can do to make it so that you can only do certain things from your house with the IP address and other things. But it gets complex, and then everyday user doesn't understand it. Even ones that do a lot of cryptocurrency don't understand it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.